Hi, this is Paul Spica with Spica Real Estate, and you're watching our first-time home buyer video series. This is video number 5, titled Contact Your Agent. If you don't have an agent already, a few tips. Just like your lender, your real estate agent, you need to like them. You need to be able to enjoy being with them. And you need to feel like you have a high level of trust in this person. You need to be able to trust your real estate agent just as you trust your lender. Obviously, trust is earned and earned over time. We believe that a real estate agent builds a relationship and thus builds trust. It's difficult to do that if you've only met this person once or twice. Referrals are a very good source of our business, and we work hard for that. So we believe that relationships are built over time, and that's how you build that trust. It's also very okay to interview an agent, interview a couple agents, ask good questions. It's not uncommon for a buyer to talk to a few different agents before they secure one as their buyer's agent. Ultimately, when you find the agent that you'd like to work with, don't be afraid of a buyer's agency agreement. This is an agreement between you and your real estate agent that lays out who represents who, and it also lays out compensation for the real estate agent. It's a standard document. We'll talk about compensation in a second, but it's a pretty simple, straightforward document. Don't be afraid of it, but do ask questions about it. It's very important for buyers to understand how real estate agents work, how they get paid, and how we work within our industry. We operate in a very similar fashion as to the legal industry, in that if you were to go into court, you have a lawyer on one side and a lawyer on the other side. And if I were to go into court without a lawyer, I wouldn't reach across the aisle and ask that lawyer to represent me as well as the other person. No, I would have my own representation. There is a real estate agent. It's very common to have a real estate agent on each side of the transaction. Agents typically get paid when the transaction closes. We don't get paid along the way. It's what's called a success fee, paid at the end at closing. Typically, the seller pays the real estate commissions, and basically the listing agent secures a listing agreement with the seller. The seller says, yes, I will pay a real estate commission of X%. The listing agent then agrees in that same document to split that fee with a buyer's agent. So if you are hiring a buyer's agent and you purchase a listed property, that buyer agency agreement will likely say that the compensation is dictated by the listing agreement. It might be X% or per the listing agreement is common language. So ultimately, it's very common for a buyer's agent to be paid by the seller, which means that the buyer doesn't pay for their buyer's agent out of pocket. Little side note here, it's very important when you're interviewing your potential buyer's agent to ask yourself the question, is this person selling me? Are they more of a salesperson, or are they more of an advisor? At Spica Real Estate, we tend to lean more towards an advisory role. We are here to help you along the way, to ask the right questions, to guide you, to take you through the process. When we've found the right house, when you have found the right house, it will be obvious and we will help you with that decision. But we are not salespeople in the sense that we're not trying to sell you on the very first house that you found. The difference between a salesperson and an advisor role, it can be subtle, but we believe it's an important distinction. Ultimately, like we talked about in the last video, you've come up with your list of things that you're looking for. Share them with your agent. Allow them to ask questions of you. They've done this many, many times, hopefully, and they know what questions to ask of you to help you better understand what you're looking for and to help the agent better understand what you're looking for. Your agent and your loan officer are very important team members on your team. It's important to trust them, and it's important to communicate openly and clearly with them. We'll start the next video on actually starting to put together the list of homes to go see. That's when the rubber really meets the road. That's a fun time. If you're out looking, we would love to sit down and talk to you and maybe be your buyer's agent, and we'd love to help. Paul Spica with Spica Real Estate. As always, feel free to contact us anytime if you have any questions. Thanks.